Culture Club, brought to you by Hanum, the freshest bottled water made in Guam.
This year's National Book Award for Poetry goes to, from unincorporated territory, Amat, Craig Santos Perez.
Well, thank you. It still feels a bit surreal. The trip to New York was kind of nonstop festivities with the National Book Foundation. And, of course, traveled back to San Diego, where I now live, and, back to work as well, teaching and writing. I never really wrote for awards. I always wrote to capture kind of the history and politics of Guam specifically, but of course to all the Marianas. And, I wrote really to honor, my family, my parents, my grandparents, my relatives, and of course, just all Chamorro people at home and across our diaspora. So that was really always my motivation and intention as a writer. The fact that I have won awards, and of course this big award, is just extra validation for me. Gives me motivation to keep writing, and I think also signals a shift in the publishing world, that they are interested in more diverse voices, and of course voices from the Pacific. It centers around stories of my paternal grandmother and her experiences during the Japanese occupation of Guam during World War II. And then there are other poems related to my own family's history of migration from Guam to California when I was a teenager. And then there are other poems about the military buildup on Guam, as well as stories about environmental devastation caused by whether it be militarism, tourism, urban development, and so on. I also have poems about the sex abuse scandals of the Catholic Church back home as well. And all of these poems are kind of tied together by the theme of healing and thinking about the medicine that storytelling can provide our people towards that healing. So that's kind of a general synopsis of the book. Growing up, I never read any Chamorro authors or Chamorro literature. And so, after my family migrated from Guam, and as I became an adult, I wanted to kind of tell stories about our islands and to tell stories about where I come from. And so, with that, I hope that, then that other students on Guam, can read my work and be inspired. And of course, today there's much more Chamorro authors and literature being published and taught in the schools. And so for me, it's a very exciting time to be a Chamorro writer, and I'm just looking forward to all the other Chamorro authors who have new books coming out. I love all the work coming out of the University of Guam Press, and it just feels like there's kind of renaissance happening both back home and abroad, of folks telling our stories, whether it be through written literature or through visual art, music, film, and of course journalism, as you're doing. All of us, I think, are doing that work of storytelling. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk with you, and just really grateful for all the attention I've received from the local journalism. And yeah, just like I said, just really, for any other writers out there, just keep writing, keep believing in yourself. And I look forward to reading your book someday.
Culture Club, brought to you by Hanum, the freshest bottled water made in Guam.